Welcome to Fett's Legacy, everyone. Today, guys, we're going to be talking about Luthen and where he could potentially end up after Andor. But before we get into that, guys, I hope you guys noticed, but I did get a new microphone for the channel to improve my sound quality. I definitely noticed it, so I hope you guys do as well. I wanted to wait until it came in the mail for me to upload this video. And as always, guys, thank you all for your support. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy this content and you want to see more, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. But guys, let's get straight into talking about Luthen and where he could end up after Andor. Luthen Rael has been a major part in the Andor series, and personally one of my favorites. He is absolutely a fantastic character, and in the latest episode, we saw some amazing acting from Stellan Skarsgård, who is obviously the actor who plays Luthen. And when he's talking to Lonnie, he starts talking about what he has had to sacrifice for the rebellion. And honestly, it was a very powerful scene. Honestly, very well done, very well acted. But it got me thinking, Luthen is such a major player in this series, and we obviously have not seen him in any piece of Star Wars after this. Not in terms of release date, but in terms of the actual Star Wars timeline. We have never seen Luthen before in any of the original trilogy, or even Rogue One for that matter. So it got me thinking, where is Luthen? What happened to him? Will we see him after the show? Does he die at the end of the show? And those are some questions I will hopefully answer in this video for you guys. So first off, let's start with, does he die in Andor? Now personally, I don't think they're going to kill him off in Andor, although it would be a pretty crazy ending. And because he is a fan favorite, it would be pretty shocking to see, and definitely get the viewers, interacting with the content and really invested. But we already know that Andor is confirmed for season 2, and so I believe that Luthen will survive this season, and maybe even survive a season 2, and they will show him in the future. Eventually, he will have to die, because he seems to be a major player in the rebellion. When will he die? I mean, that is a story for another time. Depending on how long they continue Andor, it could be multiple seasons. I know season 2 for sure is confirmed, which I'm definitely looking forward to, considering how these episodes have gone. And honestly, especially the last episode, episode 10, was just absolutely phenomenal. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely go watch it. But speaking of Luthen, he eventually will be found out by the Empire. He's hiding right under their noses on Coruscant, and he has many people watching him and Mon Mothma. As we know from the latest episode, he has been grooming Lonnie to work his way up through the ISB so he can feed him information and help the rebellion. But this is putting him right in the line of sight for the ISB. And eventually, they will probably find out that Lonnie is not what he seems, and he's working with the rebellion, and they could trace that back to Luthen. We obviously saw that Lonnie and Luthen meeting in the lower levels of Coruscant was kept very secret. They go through extreme lengths to hide their meeting, which is obviously necessary because of the ISB and the Empire looking into their activity very heavily. And he does notify him that the ISB does have a name for him. I'm pretty sure it was Axis. And so they're definitely looking into Luthen. They know of him, they just don't know exactly who he is. Eventually, this will catch up to him, and especially with someone like Dedra, who is very good at her job actually, and seems to be, getting things right. Eventually, they will catch up to Luthen. With this being said, I do think Luthen will eventually die. I don't think he'll just be a part of Star Wars forever now. And I think that they know this, and they're going to do this to keep the continuity of the original trilogy and make sure that, this guy who's seems like an all-powerful person in the rebellion and the leader of the rebels at this point, he's kind of starting the entire sector of the rebellion that Mon Mothma seems to lead later on. For that to happen and him to be nowhere near, eventually he's going to have to die. Now, like I mentioned, Dedra is great at her job, and she could definitely find out what is happening with Lonnie and Luthen. But what I do think might happen is someone bigger gets involved, like I have mentioned before, Thrawn, or we could even see Admiral Yularen, although he seems to be more of a leadership figure. I really do think Thrawn could come in and really figure out this whole thing and really track down Luthen, because as we know, and as I've said before, he is probably the smartest person we have ever seen in Star Wars. And if anyone's going to figure this out and find out that Lonnie is actually a traitor, it would be Thrawn. And with the last 2 episodes coming up, because episode 10 was so crazy and so good, so, big in scale, I do think that they're going to go really hard with this next episode, and they're going to bring in someone big. Now, they could bring in Palpatine, which I am definitely hoping for, but I do think that he would delegate this matter out to someone else, like a Thrawn or even a Vader, or even Tarkin, who could go in and deal with the rebellion. Emperor Palpatine didn't really deal with this stuff on his own. He really often made Vader go and deal with these things. So what we could see is possibly Thrawn or Tarkin actually dig into this a little bit more, find out who the traitor is, and trace him back to Luthen. Hopefully we see Palpatine call on Vader to go and do what he does best, slaughtering rebels. And we did see it in Rogue One, and I think they're going to try and capitalize on knowing that that's probably the best Star Wars that they've ever made. Every Star Wars fan will recognize that Darth Vader scene when he's standing at the end of the hall and ignites his red lightsaber. We all know what's coming next, and I think that they know that the fans absolutely love that. And even though the fans are loving the show, what would happen if they bring in Darth Vader to absolutely slaughter some rebels? I think it would be absolutely incredible. So we do only hear of Krieger so far when Luthen was talking to Saw Gerrera and when he's talking to Lonnie. When he's talking to Saw Gerrera, Saw turns him down and says, "I'm not working with him. He's slow and stupid and old." And also dismisses him as a separatist. And so we do know also when Luthen is talking to Lonnie, and Lonnie is saying, they're going to get slaughtered, Luthen mentions that he has around 50 people, and what is 50 people worth when you're saving billions? And I do understand this thought process, but we do have to eventually see Anto Krieger and his men get slaughtered. Who better to do that than Darth Vader himself? And it is being hinted that the ISB will sort of figure this out and track down Krieger and his men. And again, I would love to see Darth Vader do the actual killing of these men, as we know he is absolutely the best at doing. But Darth Vader's not the kind of guy who's going to go in and figure this kind of stuff out. He can, but it's a bit below him at this point. He doesn't care that much. So again, like my video mentioned a while back, where is Thrawn going to come in? Hopefully they use this opportunity to introduce him to fans on a larger scale and show what an intelligent character he is and how he figures out everything. I would love to absolutely see Thrawn figure this out, pass it on to Vader, and Vader go and clean up Krieger and his men. And we do know that's going to happen. Eventually this might get tracked back to Luthen. We do know he's very careful with his steps, and so it is actually mentioned by Luthen's assistant. I don't recall what her name was, but she mentions that he's getting sloppy, and so we could see him make a mistake, and somehow this gets back to him. Lonnie could even be that mistake. For sure, if anyone could figure that out, it's Thrawn. I would bet money on it, so if he ends up showing up, I really don't think Lonnie will stand a chance. And I also think that that whole conversation about his daughter and how he has to make it, and his conversation with Luthen about what he sacrificed for the rebellion, I think in the end, they're going to show him get murdered for the rebellion. But I do definitely see someone, whether that's Dedra, Partagaz, Thrawn, Tarkin, figuring out that Lonnie is a traitor and killing him for it, leaving his young daughter. Also guys, I wanted to mention that in my last video, YouTube put ads on my video, and if you guys don't know, you need to have 1,000 subscribers to monetize your channel and put ads on it. So for small creators, they often don't want ads on their channel because it might deter viewers. Many people watching a smaller channel won't want to watch ads to watch it. And so they put ads on the video, and obviously YouTube has a very terrible support system. And if you're not a monetized channel and a YouTube partner, you can't actually get in contact with anyone by email, live chat, phone, or anything. So I did actually at them on Twitter, Team YouTube, and they told me that some videos they will just put ads on if they think it's worthy of ads. And the weird thing about this is, because my channel isn't monetized, I see no revenue out of this. And it's not like I would be making a ton of money. The video actually did kind of poorly compared to all my other videos recently. And I'm not sure if that's because of the ads or just the time that I released it. I'm really not sure, but I do know that compared to every other video I've released in about the last month or two, it was the worst performing. So, and it's the only one with ads on it. So guys, I just want to let you know that it is not me putting ads on my videos. I'm actually not allowed to do that, and I'm not allowed to actually take them off my channel. So just want to let you guys know that, and hopefully they don't put an ad on this video. Yeah, I just want you guys to be able to enjoy the content for free and fast, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the content. I'm enjoying making it. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know down in the comment section below what you thought of the last episode of Andor, and what you think will happen to Luthen in the upcoming episodes or the next season of Andor. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.